Hey everybody, welcome back to All Fiction is Fantasy. Daniel here. I hope you're doing well, and if you're not, I hope you are soon. Okay, today we are going to be returning to Asa Drake. Yes, this is the Asa Drake channel. We're going to be reviewing the third and final volume of the Bloodsong trilogy, and that is Werebeasts of Hell. This was originally published in 1986. I want to read one brief paragraph from the final chapter called The Battle of the Frozen Wastes. And this says, the Death Riders silently kicked their skeletal steeds into a gallop upon the moaning shadow winds of hell. The werebeasts reached them. Howls of agony and the high, keening screams of Death Riders soon became mixed with the werebeasts' howls of battle lust as the slaughter began. I love that paragraph. It really shows what a strong writer Asa Drake could be. He was perhaps an inconsistent writer, but that is a trait common to a lot of these writers of these kind of pulp novels. But when he hits, Asa Drake hits really hard. Let's read a little bit about these Werebeasts of Hell. This is from the back of the book. He is Loketh, Antichrist of Helheim, and son of the warrior woman Bloodsong. Once destroyed by his mother, now allied with the death goddess Hel, he is back with a vast army of Death Riders from the blackest depths of the netherworld to claim evil dominion over all. Her army, now Loketh's skull slaves, her companions few. Bloodsong must face her son's vengeful fury and battle-foul hell forces across the frozen wilds of the north. In the dark beast powers that are her heritage lie her only chance of survival and of finding the ancient, long-vanished army that may be the Earth's final hope. So, Werebeasts of Hell is a great finale to a tightly plotted trilogy, one that has skyrocketed to the top of my favorites list. While not as good as books 1 and 2, Warrior Witch of Hell and Death Riders of Hell respectively, it is still a worthy conclusion to Bloodsong's struggle against Hel, the goddess of death, and her followers. And it details the climactic battle between our protagonist and Loketh, Bloodsong's estranged son, who now has an army of skull slaves, Death Riders, and Hell warriors at his command. And the list of protagonists continues to grow. In this book, we have our 8 main protagonists. We have Bloodsong, Guthrun, Hold, Orfield, Jalna, Tyrulf, Thorfinn, and Valgarth. And as I read through that list of protagonists, you might have thought, wow, that's a lot of characters for 250 pages. And you're right, it is. And that's kind of where my main criticism of book 3 lies. I commented in my review of book 2 that Drake sidelined Thorfinn and Valgarth for too much of the novel, seemingly losing track of their presence. And that happens again in book 3, only this time I think it's worse. Not only do this couple of loving warriors get sidelined, but so too do Jalna and Tyrulf. I was really disappointed with this because of how much I grew to like those two in Death Riders of Hell. Especially Jalna. She became one of my favorite characters. So this group of 4, Tyrulf, Jalna, Thorfinn, and Valgarth, is almost completely forgotten about for about a third of the novel. Luckily, they join in for the final battle, and while that was super cool and great, it was just a little too little too late. In addition to these 8 characters, Drake also introduces a whole new group of protagonists to join the main 4, Bloodsong, Guthrun, Hold, and Ulfield. And this is a group of corpse beasts. These are ancient shapeshifters who have been stuck in their beast form for so long that they no longer remember what it's like to be human. They have names like Vein Slicer, Wound Eater, Flesh Ripper, and Razor Claw. And Bloodsong and Ulfid's, their main quest in this book is to gain the trust of these corpse beasts and utilize their Odin-blessed powers in a final standoff against Hel, the goddess of death. The book does focus on those 4 main characters of Bloodsong, Guthrun, Hold, and Ulfield a lot. Guthrie and Hold, they really come into their own in this novel, and I like their progression. However, there is a large part of the novel where they are in Freya's forest, and that's really the only part of the entire trilogy that I think kind of goes on for too long. I really wanted the book to flash over to Jalna, Tirith, Thorfinn, and Volgarth at least a couple more times during these sequences. And that is probably my biggest complaint about the trilogy as a whole. Once again, in Werebeasts of Hell, there is a lot of nudity. People get captured and are immediately stripped of their clothing. Bloodsong and Ulfildspiln, they spend most of the book naked as they're transforming from beast and back to human over and over again. I mentioned in my review for book 2 that the nudity never feels like a cheap chance to comment on the women's bodies. You know, there's nothing like they're not stripped to reveal their ample breasts or shapely thighs or anything like that. Unfortunately, that's not really the case in this book. The target of a lot of the humiliation in book 3 is Jalna, and she gets sexualized a bit in the process. I think this was done to show how gross Lokith was, and it does do that, but it also feels a little exploitative when the other two novels do not. However, the women in this book still shine. I love how strong and how smart and capable they are. I also love how they stand by each other for better and worse. The friendships are true. The family binds, the family ties are true. They are true comrades. There is an exchange at the end of the novel that I just love between Bloodsong and Veinslicer. Bloodsong wants to help Veinslicer regain her ability to change back into a woman. Veinslicer had been a corpse beast for so long that she even forgot what she looked like. And she comments that she hopes she's as beautiful as Bloodsong. Bloodsong quickly begins to criticize herself, saying how she's not beautiful, how her body has been broken, scarred, and twisted by years of slavery, battle, and hard living. But Veinslicer stops her and says, "No, you are a beautiful and strong woman." And I really liked that exchange. I thought it was a very powerful ending to the trilogy. Overall, I cannot recommend this trilogy enough to fans of Sword and Sorcery. While the mass market paperbacks that we like to collect are becoming more and more expensive these days, the entire trilogy is available in ebook as the Bloodsong Hell ×3 trilogy as a single collection for less than $10 on Kindle. I looked it up this morning and it was like $6.99. If you like old heavy metal comics and Masters of the Universe and you want something like that in a novel form, you just can't go wrong with this amazing series from Asa Drake, aka C. Dean Anderson. All right, you guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed my review of Werebeasts of Hell. We will talk to you later. Bye-bye.